Alright everybody, we'll take a little break for a second. I'm out here fishing one of my favorite ponds, fishing for pickerel, and I've caught 5. Nothing to brag about. I think the biggest one was 18 and a half, and then a 17 something or another. The rest were smaller. But the reason I want to talk to you guys is I want to share a little trick with you that I do. First of all, let's start with leaders. I like for pickerel fishing, not for bass fishing. They got a lot of teeth. Snake heads too. I'll use a short leader. I like a 4 or 6 inch leader. I'm always ripping the lures real fast through the water, so it doesn't really affect the retrieve at all. But what I want to show you, I don't know how well you can see this on this crankbait. I upsized the hook about 3 times bigger than from the factory, and I took the front hook off. Now this particular crankbait, it's got a nice wobble. It's a sexy shad color. It's got that rounded lip there, and it only goes about 2 or 3 feet deep. So I'm not down in the gunk down in there. But the reason I take that front hook off, 2 reasons really. A lot of times, you know how when you cast, especially if it's windy, your hook is going to get hung up in a line like that. And then you got to reel it back to the kayak or boat, whatever you're in, to fix it. So I found that by taking that front hook off, I don't get that near as much. It's really rare that the back hook flip around. It happens every day, but it doesn't happen that much. Not near as much as with the 2 hooks. These treble hooks, and I call them trouble hooks, they hang up together all the time. They hang up on the line. But by taking that front one off, you don't get that happen near as often. Now, the other thing I've found is this runs through lily pads really well. It's damn near weedless. Now, you can't do this in the summertime when the lily pads are in full bloom. But in the early spring or in the winter, when it's mostly stalks, you can send this thing out there and let it bounce off those stalks, and it just drives the fish crazy. So I've had a lot of success in the last 4 or 5 years when I started doing this, because back in the day, I wouldn't dare think of throwing a crankbait in the lily pads. But without that front hook, I rarely get caught. It just bumps its way around in there. I get a lot of strikes. So I wanted to share that with you. Now, I'm out here fishing today, and I'm going to give you some demonstrations on just how I work this thing through the pads. So sit tight. We'll be right back. GoPro, start recording. GoPro, start recording. That was for lame.